Hi guys, Ben from Vincent Music here. Today we're going to be talking about the intro riff to a well-known Stevie Ray Vaughan song called Mary Had a Little Lamb, one of his most famous tunes. And it's pretty simple structurally. It's basically a 12-bar blues. So we're in the key of E, so we've got E7 for 4 bars, then we've got A7 for 2 bars, another 2 bars of E7, and then for the final 4 bars we have the B7, A7, back to E7, and then finishes off with a B7 turnaround. So let me play a little bit for you, and then we can talk about some of the theory behind what I'm playing. So we can see the very first shape comes from the E minor pentatonic scale. So if you guys don't know what a pentatonic scale is, it's basically a scale made up of just 5 notes. There's not a lot to remember. It's pretty simple as far as scales go. So we start off with an E, open 6th string, then a G, 3rd fret on the E string, then A, open, 2nd fret on the A, D string open, and then 2nd fret on the D string. And the riff just basically works in that shape. Then we have our first chord there, so the very first chord is at E7 triad, which you might be familiar with playing it like this, a normal open E7. But in this song, he actually plays it, so we've got a little triad shape, 2nd fret on the D, 1st fret on the G, and then 3rd fret on the B. So we have the notes E, G, and D. And the trick with this is to make it kind of light and fun and bouncy, and you don't want it to sound too tight, kind of a loose-ish feel to it. So you might notice also there's a little bend happening on the G here. So it creates a little bluesy effect where we're bending the 3rd of the scale, the G, up a half step to a G sharp. So it's one of the most bluesy things you can do, right? You take that and just bend it up. So there's going to be a lot of that in the song. So the next chord we need to know is the A7, and in this shape we're using an open A shape with a G on top, so we have the 3rd fret on the bottom string. So altogether it's open A, 2nd fret on the D, 2nd fret on the G, 2nd fret on the B, and 3rd fret on the bottom. So that's your A7, and that's going to be 2 bars. So altogether now we've got 6 bars, we've got 4 bars on E7, 2 bars on A7, and then we're going to go back to E7 for 2 bars. And then when we play our B7, we're going to just use a first position B7 chord. So we've got 2nd fret, 1st fret, 2nd fret, open B string, and then 2nd fret again. And then back to the A7 for 1 bar, E7, and then turns around B7. So that's the basic 12-bar blues structure. So when it comes to soloing over this, and later in the song there's a long solo section where you can improvise and make up your own melodies on the spot, which happens a lot in blues music. So we kind of need a strategy when it comes to improvising. So a good approach is to first start with the scale. So what scale are you going to use over there? first chord, the E7. Well, I would probably go with the scale that has most of the notes of the chord in it. So we could use our E minor pentatonic scale, which we talked about earlier. It sounded great. Nice bluesy feel, like tension between the flat 3 and the major 3. So let's see how that would sound if we just sort of mess around with the E minor pentatonic a little bit over that E chord. So it sounds pretty good. It fits well, and there's lots of stuff you can do. I even chucked in a few blues notes in there, the flat 6. So the next thing we can do if we want to make it a little bit more interesting is we can take the minor pentatonic scale and add a note to turn it into the blues scale. So this is where it gets really bluesy. We can take A, B flat, and then B. So we're adding the B flat. So you hear how that note has a lot of tension on it, where we hear the B flat, and it wants to be resolved. So we can bend it up to the B, or we can go back down. So it gives us like a way more expressive sound with that added blues note, that B flat. So let's look at that scale from top to bottom in the first position. So we've got open E, 3rd fret on the E string, A, 1st fret, 2nd fret, D, 2nd fret, open G, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, B, D, 3rd fret, open bottom string, and then 3rd fret again. So it gives us a really bluesy sound, which is going to be perfect for this song. So we know all the chords now. We know that we've got the E7, A7, and the B7 in there. So now it's time to put it all together. So don't forget your 12-bar blues structure. So we've got 12 bars, 4 bars of E, 2 bars of A7, back to E for 2 bars, and then the final 4 bars is where the chords get faster. So we're going to go B7, A7, back to E7, and then the final chord is a B7, which gives us a really strong resolution back to the 1 chord, the E7 chord. So guys, hopefully there's a few things in there you can sort of think about and add to your knowledge of the fretboard, and also a little bit about the blues, the structure. And please follow up with me on the website. There'll be more tutorials coming, and you can learn a lot from these tutorials. Go back and watch them, slow it down if you need to, and we'll make all the videos available so you can do whatever you want with them, basically. So thanks for listening, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye.